Hello guys, welcome to this video. This video is pretty random for my channel, but I thought like this experience will be helpful for anyone willing to give the interview from Ireland or anywhere else. Yeah, I'm here discussing about my F1 visa interview from US Embassy in Ireland in Dublin. I'm just sharing my experience. Hopefully, that will be of some use for you guys and help you with your interview. Before going to the interview experience, interview day, just want to highlight my profile. So I applied for F1 visa back in 2019 as well, and I was rejected 2 times. I applied from Nepal for my bachelor's degree, but then after that I came to Ireland for my bachelor's degree. The process was easy, so I applied myself. The process is like first you apply to university, and then you get a I-20, and then you book a date, and then go for the interview. Getting an interview date isn't that hard in Ireland. It took me around I get a date for after 2 weeks, but the official website says 2 working days. In Nepal, it's like half a month to get interviewed, half a year, sorry, to get interview date. In India, I think it's like 2 months or something like that, 1 or 2 months, more than that maybe. But in Ireland, it's easy to get the interview date. So yeah, I booked the interview date and I'm going for the August intake, and I gave the interview in July, first week of July. Before going into the interview session, I just want to give you some tips. I personally suggest you don't be the first person to be interviewed for that day because of that's what I felt. If there are like 10 people ahead of you in the queue, you'll get a chance to hear what the interviewer is asking questions to the people, and then it'll make you calm after hearing what he's asking. You won't get that much nervous if you are the first person. I think the nervous level will be high, but that won't determine your visa. So yeah, let's dive into my interview experience. So I was there in the counter. Visa officer, good morning, how are you? He was asking for my documents that was in my hand. I said good morning, and I passed my document. And he saw I-20, so then he asked, "You're going for a study?" I said, "Yes, sir." So he asked me, is this your first time giving the interview?" And I said, "No, sir, I applied 5 years back." And then he checked in his computer, like he already had scanned my passport. So he checked in his computer, and he told me, "Oh, I see you were rejected before as well." I said, "Yes, sir." "And were you rejected for masters back then as well?" And then I said, "No, sir. I applied for my bachelor's back then." you know. And then he said, like, "So after that you came to Ireland for your bachelor's then?" And I said, "Yes, sir." He asked me, "What did you do for bachelor's?" I said, "Software development." I tried to keep the answer pretty consistent with what he asked, and I didn't want to over give information. Like it would be like I thought it would be like too persuasive for him, so I was just answering what he was asking and nothing else. He asked me, "What are you doing in masters?" I said, the I-20 says it's IT, but I'm going for the consideration is for data science. That's what I told him. Which university are you going? I'm going to this university. And then I messed up the university name. I was supposed to say university like Minnesota State University, but I told him University of Minnesota, and then he was like, is it University of Minnesota? Is it the same thing? And like I told him, "Oh, sorry, so no, it's Minnesota State University, and no, it's different from University of Minnesota." I told him that that was a dumb mistake. He asked me, "Why don't you study here in Ireland?" And that's a pretty valid question, and I prepared for that, and was honest with my answer. I told him like that was the plan at first. But when I do more research on it, I find the fees in the US universities little cheaper as being a non-EU student in Ireland. The fees for master's degree is more. Also, the courses of this university in US exactly matches with my academic interest. That's what I told him. And when did you graduate? He asked me. I graduated just last year. I told him. Um, so he asked me, "Are you working at the moment?" Uh, I felt that in my DS 160 that I was working, so I think that's why he asked me, and I said, "Yes, sir. I'm working as a graduate product engineer." And then he asked me, "What are you planning to do after you graduate?" And then I told him I was planning to do this and this back in Nepal. It's pretty important that you highlight that you don't want to stay in US after you complete your education. So I told him I want to do this back in Nepal, and I explained a little bit more, because it's important that you explain something here. You want to persuade him that you will return back to Nepal and do some things. So just give him or give her your plan after graduation. You know, that's what I did. I told him like I want to do this and that, and Nepal has these opportunities and that opportunities and more exposure, like more gap in this field and things like that, which I don't want to tell to you, because then there might be a chance that you won't be using your creativity for your graduation. You might use this, and which is okay, but I don't want you to use my answer. You have to be honest and you have to use your own answer. It's okay. And then he asked me who's going to fund your education. I told him my mom and my brother, and he asked me where are they. I told him my mom is back in Nepal and my brother is in United States. And he looked at me and, what is your brother doing in United States? Told him he's currently working in the United States under his OPT. And then he said, oh, OPT. Like, he was pretty convinced, like he's doing OPT. That's a good thing. You have to, if he's doing OPT, that's a pretty good thing, because he followed the legal path. It's not illegal to do OPT. It's like, it's legal. So you don't have to be scared about that. So, and then I told him that he asked me where in the United States, and I told him in Minnesota, and that's why and he also recommended me this university. I told him that. So do you plan to stay with your brother? I said, no, sir. I plan to stay on campus because I want to experience the campus culture. That's what I told him. And then after that, he started typing in his computer. It took him like 1 minute or so, and I was like, I was doubting that I would get a visa, because I made a mistake before, So he was typing here and he told me to put my finger on the biometric scanner, and I did that. And then after the biometric, he passed me the I-20, and then he kept the passport with him. And then he told me, I'm issuing your visa, and you can get your visa back in 10 days. And I was like, really? Yeah, I didn't believe it, I was really happy. And then I was excited, and then I told him, yeah, thank you, sir. Where can I get my passport and things like that? And he said you'll get an email, and yeah, and then he said, thanks, have a nice day. I told him, you too, and then I just left, and I get my passport, and I got my visa, and that was my experience. I hope that you'll get a visa as well. I wish you good luck, and yeah, see you in next video.